Hey guys, just want to address a few things before this SmackDown episode starts. I have noticed that people have been commenting about how the database I'm currently using doesn't really help me that well because of how popularity's been decided. As a result, certain segments and superstars have been rated much lower than they should be. And everyone's been telling me to go into Fleisch's database because it rates things better and apparently everything's a bit fairer. Despite this, I will still be continuing to use this database, but I will be considering using Fleisch's database going into like future series that I do on this channel. But until then, I will be using this database and making adjustments depending on how I feel certain superstars should be rated. Now, I hope you enjoyed the video, and this is the end of this little disclaimer segment. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is Mecha Wrestling, and welcome back to WWE Pandemonium with the SmackDown Live Shake-Up episode. Hopefully you enjoy what you see in this video and that there aren't going to be any audio issues that I noticed in the last episode, and hopefully there's no like post-commentary stuff either. Brian, hopefully the little disclaimer at the start was useful in explaining how I'm feeling about this series and the database that I'm using. But anyway, let's get into the video itself. In a pre-show bout that had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, Black and Ricochet defeated the Colons in 10 minutes 35 when Aleister Black defeated Epico with a black mass. As you can see, Black and Ricochet ended up getting drafted to SmackDown via the Superstar Shake-Up. It just made sense thanks to the WrestleMania 35 match, and it just wouldn't make sense to really put them on Raw when they've competed for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Primo got a 34, Epica got a 34, Aleister Black got a 33, and Ricochet got 39. Ricochet actually looks very promising, to say he's the best one in this match, and Ricochet is actually improving performance skills, so that's also very good. Also, I want to address a little change that I made thanks to the last episode of SmackDown. If I can find it, oh, it doesn't even show you. Basically, I've replaced bloody Byron Saxon, and I've put in Taz, who I just felt would be better for this kind of show, and I couldn't be asked with Byron Saxon. I haven't released him, but I am definitely considering it. Anyway, that match got a 38D minus, and this is not the only pre-show match we have on this card. In a pre-show bout that had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, Asuka defeated Mandy Rose and Lana when Asuka defeated Lana via the Asuka lock. Yeah, I thought like I might as well get the women on the pre-show when Asuka hasn't really been used yet, so I was thinking like might as well just get her a win, even if it's on the pre-show. Then Asuka got a 54, Mandy Rose got a 25, and Lana got a 23. I hope there's a few work improvements. If not, it's kind of disappointing. Lana is improving in performance, and Mandy Rose is improving performance. So hopefully that means that when it gets further down the road, going towards that Money in the Bank, these women will actually do quite well in the ring. I can actually confirm that there will be another Money in the Bank qualifier match this episode of SmackDown, but you'll have to find out who that will be. When everyone got a few bonuses for star quality. However, few Mandy Rose and Lana have got poor basics in psychology, and Lana's got bad inconsistency. Literally, Lana's just terrible, and it's hurting everyone. Anyway, you got 41D, which is quite a solid pre-show if you're basing it off that alone. Anyway, let's get on to the main show of SmackDown Live. Triple H has announced that he has signed Finn Balor to contract on SmackDown Live. And as a result, after his match with Andrade, Samoa Joe will be drafted to Raw without the US title potentially. So I basically brought in Finn over from Raw because I honestly didn't think I'd do anything with him on Raw. because Bobby Lashley's kind of dead. Where apparently Triple H is not suited to his gimmick, and he struggled when it came off script. So that's kind of concerning. But it did get a 66C plus, which is quite good. There weren't any worker skills to improve on, because it's the only Triple H. I don't think Triple H is going to really improve. When one positive, it did get the crowd hotter and the show off to a strong start. So at the end of the day, that's quite good. Anyway, let's see how the starting match of SmackDown goes. Hopefully this is a match. Otherwise, I've been very forgetful. In about that decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat, Samoa Joe defeated Andrade Almas in 14 minutes 11 by submission via Coquina Clutch after the distraction from Rey Mysterio. Samoa Joe makes defense #1 of his United States Championship. When Samoa Joe got 61, Andrade, Jesus Christ, he got 54, and he's not even. That's just showing how good he really is. Because I had him in that triple threat match last week, and he was bloody great, wasn't he? Anyway, the story of Rey Mysterio storyline has started with this segment, and Andrade is improving in performance. So even though Joe is going to Raw with the United States Championship, he may potentially be able to chase Finn Balor with his Intercontinental Championship. Brian Joe was penalised for holding back and inconsistently. That's Joe was declining. That's not ideal, but hopefully his matches still can be good. So that's now Joe and AJ have both declined in these past 3 episodes. It's not ideal at all. Anyway, the match got a 56C minus, which was it's a good start to the show. Quite a strong start to say the Andrade wasn't really rated highly because of how the popularity was and the fact he's literally just come from NXT. So yeah, that's the United States Championship going to Raw. Let's see how we go into this next segment. In a terrible match, when Sonya Deville defeated Sasha Banks by pinfall after distraction from Charlotte Flair. When Sonya Deville got 30, Sasha Banks got 45, and the Boss versus Empress versus Queen storyline started with the segment. Got 43D overall. That's actually quite good to say. Sonya's was only rated at 30, and I'm guessing Sasha helps, and maybe Charlotte's interference. Anyway, Sasha's improving in performance, and Sonya's improving in Rumble and Technical. So Sonya Deville has joined. Who's she joined again? She's joined someone in the Money in the Bank match. I just can't think who she's with. I'll have to have a look after this, but I know it might be Ember Moon. It's Ember Moon. Sonya and Ember Moon are the first 2 competitors in the women's Money in the Bank match. Then at least one worker in this segment has a return or gimmick change waiting to happen. Yeah, I'm wanting to continue, but it won't be yet. Let's go into the next segment after this decentish match, 43D. Triple H has come out to the ring to announce the future of the SmackDown Women's Championship after Becky Lynch vacated the belt. Flair and Banks are separated after a brawl broke out after a loss to Sonya Deville, costing her the opportunity to take part in the Women's Money in the Bank match. Whilst you both had valid reasons for being frustrated, you will not be fighting each other now. At Money in the Bank, you two will be fighting for the SmackDown Women's Championship alongside this woman. Asuka then emerges from the back to charge down to the ring and ends up brawling with both Charlotte and Sasha before Charlotte lays them out with a double natural selection. Triple H is not suited to his gimmick. The performance of Triple H was good, and a potential future heel turn for Charlotte was hinted during the segment. There's no work improvements. They've got 62C. I'm actually going to turn Charlotte heel now. It just makes more sense. So let's complete the turn. Hopefully this goes reasonably well. turn was a complete success. Nice. So Charlotte is now a heel. I don't know why she was facing this mod, but yeah, we're in the Andy Kerr Stadium again. Hopefully, I can move that next episode because I don't want to be in the Andy Kerr Stadium again. And now we're going to go on to the next segment. Okay, Drew McIntyre has just attacked Kofi Kingston backstage and is standing tall. McIntyre was basically making his impact coming over from Raw, and he has got a quite good segment. We're getting a 69 C plus. I admit I did change McIntyre's pop a little bit to 48 because he was far too low in the last video that we did, because I think he was like on 30s. And as a result, the decimation of the New Day storyline has begun with this segment. In a poor match, Drew McIntyre defeated Big E via pinfall with a Claymore kick. Xavier Woods did good work at ringside. Big E had a in-ring performance of 53. Drew McIntyre got in-ring performance of 50, and the decimation of the New Day storyline has advanced with this segment, but lost heat. Big E's actually improving quite a few things in technical, rumble, flying, and performance, and the segment got a 56 C- overall. Moving on to the next segment. The Miz and Shane McMahon have a heated confrontation backstage and are separated by backstage staff before a brawl can break out. The Is he really the best in the world storyline has advanced in this segment, but has lost heat, getting a 53 C-. It's kind of disappointing, but it should be alright, I think. I think there's a few segments in this show which should save it overall. Moving on to the next segment. And we get a 64C. In a bout that had decent wrestling but not much heat, Rusev defeated the newly drafted Finn Balor with a jumping sidekick after distraction from Randy Orton. Rusev was visibly tiring towards the end. When Lana and Rusev had good chemistry, Finn Balor got a 62, Rusev got a 55, and the Demon Hunt storyline has advanced to this segment and gained heat. Rusev isn't performing Rusev's improving in technical and performance, and Finn Balor is improving in performance. Pretty solid match, honestly. Like, to say Rusev was getting tired, it's kind of like, it's quite good. Moving on to the next segment, I think this is probably going to be the best show we've had so far, and that's saying something with all the shocking, I won't say shocking booking decisions I've made, but more the game's popularity not being the best. Anyway, let's get into this next segment. When Randy Orton has attacked Finn Balor after the match, when RKO planted him to the concrete, getting a 67 C+. The Demon Hunter storyline has advanced this segment. It looks like Randy's gonna pursue the Intercontinental Championship, doesn't it? Jesus Christ, this might be quite a good story. There's no worker improvements, but this has been a pretty solid segment. I've actually had some pretty decent segments this show. Again, like quite a few 60s. So it should be higher than the previous shows altogether. Moving on to the next segment. A decent match when Dean Ambrose defeated Randy Orton via pinfall with a dirty deeds following the interference from the attacked Finn Balor. When the match deserved better announcing, Dean Ambrose had an in-ring performance of 63. Randy Orton had an in-ring performance of 75. Jesus Christ. Getting a 69 C+. We're in another match on the Dean Ambrose farewell tour, and he just defeated Randy Orton. Moving on to the next segment, which I think might be the end because this is the main event of the evening. After costing Randy Orton his match in the Dean Ambrose farewell tour, Finn Balor starts to brawl with his adversary. The Demon Hunt storyline has advanced with this segment but lost heat, getting a 63 C overall. And I think this has been a pretty solid show, to say that all the rest of them haven't been that great. I think Randy's definitely helped me out this show. Might be pushing him as one of my biggest stars on SmackDown. Anyway, let's end the show and see how it all went. When it lets that it's better, but it's still not great. It's not like what we need. Been getting a 60C rating. When WWE hasn't got enough interesting storylines going on, and it lost its popularity in 23 regions. So, what do you people think about the whole Finn Balor being hunted by Randy Orton? Is Randy going to try and lay out Finn even more, like after his matches? And do you think that Drew McIntyre is going to decimate the New Day? I guess you'll find out next episode of SmackDown, which will be in a few days' time. But until next time, this has been Mecha Wrestling, and I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.